Before we can dive in today's little art haul, I gotta tidy up my mess. So I've been working in the dining room recently, and I'm also in the middle of filming several art supply swatching type watercolor videos. It's taking me a lot longer than I would like, but I am going at a pace that is good for me and my chronic health issues. Now, before we dive into the actual art haul, you may notice, if you're familiar with my channel, these markers, as I love them so much. I have them in a lot of my videos. I swatch a lot of them. I have a couple of videos about watercolor markers, and yes, I did accidentally purchase 2 of the same color because I added to cart one too many times, but that's okay. I love that color and I'll use it a lot. The point is, I will be swatching them at the end of the video, but today's video really does center around the Derwent colored pencils that I purchased because I decided to splurge and treat myself to a bunch of new colored pencils from 2 lines from Derwent that I absolutely love, but I actually only own 1 or 2 colors from each line. And there was a sale at Jackson's, and I was like, you know what? You deserve to treat yourself. And so I did. When I first opened these bags, I wasn't too sure if they were just all thrown into each other, but as I pulled it out, I discovered that they were actually all, each bag has the different 2 lines that I got. So I got the Derwent drawing pencils. They are a beautiful, smooth kind of colored pencil. They're really popular around amongst colored pencil artists and drawing artists, but they are a earthier color palette. So I only had 1 or 2 of them, but I decided to buy a bunch more. I'll explain later when I get into actually swatching the colors. The next set of line that I got from Derwent are their Inktense pencils. They're a lot like watercolor pencils, and I know I probably shouldn't have purchased a bunch of these because I have several watercolor pencils that I never use, but I love my Derwent Indian ink black pencil that I use all the time. I also have a denim blue one that I love so much. And I decided, you know what, because I love these so much, because they're so much more vibrant and beautiful, I just can't wait to get more colors. So I did. And before I could even start swatching them, I had to take those stickers off, and my little puppy hung out with me while I did it. This process took forever, by the way, getting all these stickers off, but you need to do that because it's hard to sharpen them with those labels there. Diving right in, this is the light ochre from the drawing line. Next up is the mustard. It's a beautiful yellow color. What's so great about this line is that they are an earthier color palette, so they're more muted. This one here is apricot, and because I don't normally use that kind of color palette that often, I never really allowed myself to splurge on this line, but they came out with 72 colors now. This one here is light rust, and because they have a bunch of colors in here that I absolutely love, I knew I had to grab them for myself. Now this pink here is dusky pink. It is so nice. But this ash rose, whoo, I love it so much. I think it's going to be a pink that I turn to a lot. Up next is teal blue. It's not teal. It's definitely a warmy blue. And if you see any art reviews, because there are a lot of them out there right now from Derwent ambassadors, everyone's like, this isn't teal, and I agree, it's not, but it's still a beautiful color. This one here is ash blue. It reminds me a lot of the ash blue that you can get from Holbein for their gouache. Up next is royal blue. Oh man, this royal blue, I love it so much. And this one here is Delft blue. I'm saying that wrong. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys each color up closer with the name underneath it, just in case you're like, oh, I really like that. I think I want to add that to my wish my wish list. This green here is Rainforest Green, and up next is Fir Green. I will admit, I've watched several swatching videos before I decided to take the plunge and pick out the exact colors I wanted, and yet I still purchased 3 colors that are very similar to each other. So the Fir Green and this Spruce Green. Ooh, Spruce Green. They look so much alike when I swatched it this way. Up next is Sage Leaf, and yes, it reminds me of sage. It's beautiful. This one here is Moss Green. It reminds me a lot about the like an olivey green paint that I used to love to use. And this bright, vibrant green is Fresh Green, and it's so nice. So because these 2 colors look so much alike, swatch like this, I decided to swatch them next to each other, and I'm so glad that I did that because I'm able to see that yes, they're of the same color family, but the Spruce Green is darker. So if you wanted to blending, like soft kind of blending or anything like that, these 2 colors would make an amazing pair. I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff. That's not my style of drawing, but I wanted to share that with you guys just in case that is your own style. So as you can see right now on the screen, you can see a difference, but yeah, I was also rubbing it just so you can see that I'm using a sort of textured page. So it's a little dustier than it might be depending on any other paper. Also with Derwent, I've noticed that some colors don't exactly match the paint on the edge. Like these 2 pinks here look identical, but they're completely different pink pencils. It's the light rust in the dusky pink. They look different on page, but the actual swatching on the back of the pencil, it's a little different, but that's okay. Those minor little things, they might bother some people. It used to bother me a lot if it didn't match, but I'm learning to just like go with the flow and make sure I have everything swatched out prior to actually randomly picking up a pencil so I know exactly what it looks like. I also realized in different lighting that the Sage Leaf looked really similar to the Fir Green, so I did it next to each other again. That's the advantage and disadvantage to doing a lot of your art on the dining room table, because it's becoming winter time and light changes really easily here where I live. So one minute it's really sunny, the next it's clouded over. The first one I'm swatching from the Inktense line is their gold. What I love about the Inktense that makes it so much better than watercolor pencils, in my opinion, is the fact that they're so vibrant and bold. I think that's what I didn't like about watercolor pencils, is that they're so soft, and that's not me. This one here is Golden Sun, and it is beautiful. It reminds me of actually like an Indian yellow, kind of yellow when you use it. This one here is the Wild Flame. It's a beautiful orange, and it's just, I don't actually use orange that often, I don't think, and yet when I do, it's this orange I want. Up next is Pink Flamingo. I don't know what to say other than saying it's this soft pink when you dilute it, and it's beautiful. I'm going to say that about a lot of these colors, so I apologize in advance because I just like them all so much. This one here is Fuchsia. Kind of actually reminds me of a red violet color, which is really funny because the next color is red violet, and it's more of a like a plummy maroon, but that's okay. Sometimes companies name things and you go, why? That's not what it looks like at all, but that's okay. It's still a really nice color. I think it'll make great flowers. I purchased a lot of purple. I've noticed that in the Inktense line, they don't have a lot of pinks, and it's probably just because you can dilute the reds to make soft pinks, I'm assuming. I don't know if I'm right or not. This purple here is Amethyst. and I won't lie, I bought it just because I love amethyst crystals, and I was like, I need to know what it's like to use it, and I'm glad I did. It is really nice diluted. Up next is Deep Violet. Of the purples that I purchased, I think the Deep Violet might be the one that I'll use the least, and that's sad, but when I compare it to the Violet Blue, which is the one that's being swatched right now, I just prefer the Violet Blue so much more to it. It's just got that more vibrancy. The Deep Violet feels more muted in comparison. This blue here is Lapis Blue. It reminds me of like a crisp sky, and I think I'm going to use it a lot. This color is the Malibu. Malibu? No, Malibu. Ooh, I can't read my own spelling, my own writing, the way I wrote something. That's sad. Tis be life. Next up is Mineral Blue. I love the Malibu. Sorry, I said Malibu again. Malibu and the Mineral Blue next to each other. I think this combo is going to be used together a lot. And then this green here is Mint Leaf. I definitely can see why it got the mint name, because when it's diluted, it's got that really softness to it. Now this pencil here, I just want to show you guys, it's the only pencil out of all of them that actually peeled and took the top coat of the paint on the outside of the barrel off when I took the label off, which is sad because it's just sad in general. But it's a lime green, and that's the name of the color, lime green. And it's one of those greens that I really like. So I have a feeling I'm just going to be using this one a lot, so I won't really have to worry about the texture in my hands. The green that's swatching right now is Fern. I have this one in an Inktense block, and I love it. So I'm glad I picked up the pencil version as well. And this green is Olivine. It's a more muted green versus the Fern. And I think they'll work really well together in landscapes, as well as doing like greenery for flowers. Now this really dark green is called Iron Green. It kind of reminds me, if you're familiar with watercolor, kind of like a Perylene green or anything like that, or it's like this deep, dark, almost black color. It's really nice. Up next is Mustard. I know I have mustard in the drawing, but you're going to see just how different they are, even when diluted. They have a color family similarity to one another, but they can be used together, and I think it's going to be great. This one here is Baked Earth. I don't have a lot of browns in my color palettes. Like I just don't really lean that way, but I liked how this one was more like a burnt sienna type brown, and I liked it. Now, as you can see, I use this black a lot. So I bought another one because I was just it's getting small in my hand, and I knew I might as well just stock up while I had the chance. It's a warm black, and I really like that. And then here's the mustard that I was just talking about. I want to show you guys what it looks like next to each other. Okay. And then I'll show it to you again a little bit closer, so you can get a better idea. I also swatched them on my Royal Talons sketchbook because I use those ones a lot. I'm a firm believer that if you use a certain type of paper type the most, you should be swatching your colors on that. And because the Royal Talons is a creamier color, colors are going to look a little differently on them, which is why I'm sharing all my swatches today on both of the paper types, because these are the two type of sketchbooks I've found myself using the most recently. As for the markers, this one here is the Tombow T873, and the pink one here is Pale Pink from Faber-Castell. The next pink is Light Purple Pink, and then the blue after that one is Sea Blue. I found it interesting as I started to collect all the markers that I loved, but they were drying up because I was using them so often, that as they were drying up and I was looking for alternative color options, I was missing these ones so much, so I had to replenish them. That one there is the T533. They call it peacock blue, but it is not peacock blue. Whereas this blue here is called sky blue. It's Faber-Castell from their Pit brush line versus their watercolor one. And this Tombow here is their T379. And this one is the mint, and it's T243. If you're interested in knowing more about the differences between the different type of watercolor markers, I have a video for that, so I'll link it in the description section below. I know this video isn't really a review of the two different Derwent pencils. It's more of a swatching and an unboxing. I do plan on doing a full-blown review in the future. It's just I need to go at a slower pace. I've discovered that in between doing client projects, taking care of my physical health, and just allowing myself to have time for creation for myself, I need to do things a little bit slower, so I can't constantly post every week. I can't be as consistent in that way, but I do plan on having them come out. So if you are interested in knowing when that happens, hit the subscribe and the bell icon, so then that way when my new videos do go out, you get notified that they are there and ready to be seen. I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes to my channel, who partakes in my polls and leaves comments and asks questions. Thank you so much. If you do have any comments or questions, let me know in the comments section below, especially because I will do a review of these. So if you have a question and I can answer it when I do that video, I will do so. Okay, thank you so much for watching this, and until next time, stay magical.